Oh, one thing they do, it was really funny. Australians don't really answer your questions directly. They kind of answer it, I don't know, like when somebody would say, oh, how much is that? They'd say, oh, it wasn't much. Or, oh, it wasn't cheap. They wouldn't tell you the price. They'd say it wasn't cheap or it wasn't too much. Like, how far away is your house? Oh, it's not far. It's not far. Like, what? Just tell me. Like, how far? Like, 10 minutes? Like, I don't know. And then they'd, describe directions differently sometimes as well. Like, they'd say, they wouldn't tell you, like, to go on, like, streets. They'd tell you landmarks more. Like, okay, this tree, you'll see this tree over here, mostly in the bush, like where I was serving in the bush. Like, okay, you'll see a tree that's kind of lopsided. You turn left there. Then you go, like, I don't know, go for, like, however far, and then turn left at this tree or at this little house, something like that, like, really weird like that. I've been having withdrawals from my accent lately. I've been really missing it, so maybe this is my opportunity to bring it back. I don't know what they would say. I don't know. I have no idea. They'd say stuff like oh, g'day, mate. How you going? Or, no, I can't do it. It's too much. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I hate impersonating the accent. I feel so dumb. I remember in Australia, they would always say, that's okay. But not in the way that you would think. I would always say, thank you for helping me with this, or thank you for dinner, or, just being thankful for something, and they would say, that's okay. And it always confused me, like, what are you talking about? It's okay for what? And one of the things was they don't really say what, because it's kind of rude to ask, like, when you don't understand what somebody said, or you didn't hear them properly, it's, it's kind of rude to say what. It's more proper or common to say pardon or sorry, I didn't hear you. So you usually just say, sorry, what'd you say? Rather than saying what, like an American would, just very like blunt, kind of like that. And so that's something that I learned a lot from. I learned a lesson like that because a mom was getting mad at her child for saying that after I had done it. I was like, oh, sorry. Australia is pretty known for their accent and, like little sayings like, g'day, mate. And they say that very often. I heard people say that. And it was usually more of the Bogan people, which is, I would say, the equivalent of like a hillbilly or redneck type of a thing, a Bogan. And that would say things more like that. Like, let's put another shrimp on the Barbie. They don't actually say that. But they do call it a Barbie. And they would call boys blokes. Like, do you see that bloke over there with that Sheila? Sheilas were girls, just in general. Like, it's not like any particular girl. It's just a girl in general, a Sheila. One of the things I thought was pretty funny is when they'd be describing somebody that was kind of slow, they would say a couple sandwiches short of a picnic, or a sausage short of a Barbie, or something like that. Like, something like to the effect that they're missing a little bit of something up in here. But they came up with so many different ones, and I can't even imagine, I can't even think of all of them. They were hilarious, like really funny things like that they would always think of. And of course, in their accent, when the R sounds like an ah, you'd say over in the car. It isn't far. I love how easygoing the Australian people are. They're so easygoing, and they're just so easygoing and so, like fun to talk to. They've always got a funny one-liner to say. They've always got, usually the people that would talk to us, they were so chill and relaxed. They'd come to the door like with no clothes on, which I didn't particularly like, but it just kind of showed how comfortable they were and how, they didn't care much at all. And so it made me feel more comfortable, their attitude towards it all. And so that's one thing that I just loved about the Australians. They were so easygoing and friendly, like really nice people. One thing that I wish the American did was the school system. They had high school, and then their last 2 years of high school would be called college. and they would start their college, like electives and stuff in high school, and their generals in high school. Like it's kind of an early time to choose what you want to do for college, but they don't have to do generals in college because they do it in high school, which was college. But I loved that. Like, that was so cool. So I'm supposed to give a message to people in Australia and Tasmania. I love you all. You're great. All you people in Australia and Tasmania, everywhere, you all helped me so much. I love you all very much. And I thank you again for everything that you've done for me and continue to do for me even still to this day.